What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. I got that little lick there, man, you know what I mean? Welcome back guys, drop a thumbs up on the video, it'd be very much appreciated. We are heading into some FUT Champions games today. I've made some changes to the team. I'm going to explain the changes and I'll show them at the start of the next episode. I was going to show them at the end of this episode, but I've got so much gameplay packed in here that I think this episode is quite long enough. So I'll show the players that I bought, the players that I sold, and the general the general changes that I made in tomorrow's beginning of the episode. But I will explain to you what I've done here today. So the changes that I did make is I sold Vidal and Alaba. I bought Alexandro. I sold Buffon. I bought Ralph Fährmann. And I bought Inform Goretzka. And the reason why I did that is because I'm now playing Alexandro, Matuidi and Benatia on the left-hand side. Fährmann, Boateng as my goalkeeper right centre-back. And although I start Kimmich, the 86 red Kimmich I've got, I start him at right-back and I start Goretzka at right centre-mid. When I switch formation to 4-1-2-1-2 in game, I have Patrick Vieira as my CDM, Kimmich as my right centre-mid, and Matuidi is my left centre mid, Costa in the cam, Ronaldo and Henry up front. And the reason why I use Goretzka is because in the video yesterday, and we talked about it a little bit, one of the users said, why not buy Goretzka and use him at right back so you can use Kimmich at centre mid? So I had a look at him, and with the Shadow Chem style, Goretzka is an insane right back. He's nice and tall, he's like 6'2", 6'3". He's got 4-star weak foot, he's got high work rates, which is great. He's got 90 stamina, and then with that shadow he goes to 98 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, 97 for both stand and slide tackle, 96 interceptions and 91 marking. But not only that, he's got very good reactions, good ball control, good dribbling in general, and very strong passing, 86 short pass and 80 long pass. So he actually is a really good right back. So I thought to myself, you know, even though I was doing well with the team that I had when I had Florenzi at right back, I still decided I was going to make a change, and I decided I was going to test this out. And the reason being is because I love Kimmich's card. I think that Kimmich card is one of my favourites in the game so far this year. If you whack a shadow on him, he becomes a 92 rated CDM. And although I play him as an outside centre mid, I use him primarily as a defensive-minded midfielder. In fact, all three of my centre midfielders, you know, Patrick Vieira, Kimmich and Matuidi are used as defensive-minded players. And then I just rely on Costa, Ronaldo and Henry to score the goals for me. And as you can see by the number of goals that we're putting away every game here, I'm doing all right with those three. And let me tell you something, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo, outstanding. Like, having him and Henry up front together, just... Ronaldo is the best player I've used. I tweeted out yesterday, Ronaldo is the best player. I have used 96 R9 Ronaldo and 94 R9 Ronaldo, and they're great, but I haven't used them extensively enough. So I guess I'm saying CR7 is the best player I've ever used this year. Best player I've used, right? Because I haven't used Ronaldo, you know, R9 Ronaldo in a competitive setting. So I couldn't really speak to him. But I've used Maradona, I've used Pele a lot in draft, and they're good, not great. The guy that's just the difference is Cristiano Ronaldo just scores goals that no one else that I use has scored. He scores, the one thing that he scores the most is low drivens across the goalkeeper and low driven finesse shots at the near post. He has a far higher success rate in scoring those than Thierry Henry does. What I'm most interested to see is how Thierry Henry's goal and assist ratio changes and develops over the next 100 to 200 games with Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. Is he going to score less goals? Is he going to get more assists? Or is he going to score more goals? Because with having them both up front, like before, maybe even only subconsciously, having Alessandrini alongside Henry, I would always try and find and favour Henry, because it's like, hey, I know Henry's got a better shot than Alessandrini, so let me play it to him if he's there for the shot. Or if I got the ball with Henry, sometimes I wouldn't look for an easy pass to Alessandrini, and instead I'd try potentially a long shot or you know, a low success rate shot with Henry instead of playing it off. But now that I've got Ronaldo up there as well, there's no reason to do that. I have two absolutely insane strikers and Rui Costa in at camp able to ping balls left, right and centre. And Kimmich can pass, you know, 92 short passing and 95 crossing for Kimmich. 87 curve. He's got good composure, 83. And also Matuidi, who also have a shadow on, he can pass too. You know, he's worth like 240k as a card. And although his passing stat is only 79, and I think a lot of people look at that and think, oh, he's a bad passer of the ball, but he's not. The reason why it's so low is because his free kick accuracy and curve are so low. He's actually got 86 short passing and 81 long passing. So he's actually really decent in that sense. And again, good composure, 95 stamina. I really, really like the feel of the team that I've got. That goal that Rui Costa scored there, you're going to see more of that from Ronaldo. And that's what I'm talking about with the way Ronaldo finishes. There's one game in particular, it might actually be this game, where I scored 4 goals in the game with Ronaldo. And I was just like, wow. You know, he just doesn't miss those. Like that right there on Ronaldo's left foot, that would be, for me, a chance that Henry would probably miss. You know, that's just one of those ones that I'm like, God damn it, Henry, you should have scored there. And here it is. Ronaldo again gets into some space, hits a stop and turn, gets a driven shot, doesn't fall back to him. I think it might be Kimmich that scores this one. Rui Costa on the edge of the box here, a bit of space, falls back to Joshua Kimmich. Is it Kimmich that scores this one? Yeah, ball roll into Ronaldo, and here we go again. Bang. I mean, Henry probably would have scored that anyway, but enjoy the gameplay. Enjoy the gameplay because it's great. Anyway, some comments, guys, from the comment section. The first one is from Connor Hum. He says, please change your player numbers. There's no point. They just change back. It's a bug in the game. It's a glitch. There's an error. If I switch them all around, as soon as I go out of the squad screen, they change back again. It doesn't make any difference. Funny says, Yonep, I've got a question. Can I hold more than 99 packs in my store? Yes. Yes, you can. You can only see the first 30 on console. It only shows you up to 99 on console, but if you actually go into the web app, or the mobile app I believe, it will show you exactly how many packs you have, and you can scroll through them all and open whichever one you want at whichever time. So yes, that is a possibility. Edward Wright says, hey Nep, I heard Nick and A9 mention that they might consider moving to PS4 next year due to the lack of players on Xbox. As you're already playing on PS4, do you think more YouTuber streamers and even pros will make a switch? And if so, what do you think it will do to Xbox's player base? I don't know if more people will switch. I know Bateson wants to come over next year. I think Nick's going to come over next year. I think AA is going to come over next year, as you said. Like, one of the biggest issues for me last year, it was hard for me to progress a lot last year in Road to Glory because I did play a lot of the same faces all the time. There was a pool of about 20 players, and you could just randomly pick 5 of those players, and I'd play those every week. So if you take like a circle and put 20 names in, every week pick 5 of those names, I'm playing them. The next week just pick 5 more random names, I'm playing them. The next week pick 5 more random names, I'm playing them. And you see that even now with, for example, Nick plays Wilson. Last year he was top 100 every year. This year he's struggling a little bit, but Nick plays Wilson every single week. And he plays Cali SCG every single week. And I'm yet to see the same name twice on PlayStation. And like, not only is it good for variety of opponent and not like getting stuck in a situation where, like I say, like Nick has literally played Wilson for the last 4 weeks in a row, and Wilson is considerably better than Nick. So before Nick even starts his FUT Champs run, he can pretty much, like, he nearly beat him last week, and I don't want to discredit Nick because I think he's a great player and he might be able to nick a win against him eventually. But bottom line is, before he starts, he can already scratch off a game and say, okay, I'm going to face Wilson at one point this weekend, so we'll, 39 is kind of like the limit I'm really looking for. And that should never be the case. You should never be forced to play the same players every week. Like, it's absurd to me that the player base, the pool of players on Xbox is so small that you will generally come up against 4 or 5 of the same people every single weekend in FUT Champs. That's crazy to me. What do I think it will do to Xbox player base? Probably nothing. A lot of people, a lot of you guys that have consoles and watch streamers and YouTubers and stuff, you can't just change console if you want to. If all of a sudden every YouTuber came onto PlayStation, all of the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, people without jobs, people that use a shared console with brothers and sisters and stuff, it's not like they can all of a sudden be like, oh, you guys are going to PlayStation, let me just sell my Xbox and I'll also go to PlayStation. By the way, that game there that I lost, I switched my team up to show on Twitter what it looks like in-game, and I forgot to switch it back. So I went into the game with my team already changed beforehand. I think it was on like 70-something or 80-something chemistry. So Goretzka was on 3 chem. Rui Costa was on 3 chem. Ronaldo and Henry, I think, were on 4 chem each. It was a nightmare. Kimmich was on 3 chem. It was a nightmare, and you would have seen the chances. I missed some sitters, and I think it was just because of the low chemistry of the players. So I lost the game, even though I'm 8-2 at this stage before going into the next game. And 8-2, I'm actually quite content with 8-2. With that being said, I just a silly error on my part in that game. I reckon I could have won that if I had my full complement of chemistry in that team. And that might then have been 9-1. And the other one that I did lose was a game I lost 5-3 in a game that I had a lot of chances and I just wasn't able to take my chances. So the reason why I'm stating that isn't because I feel like I should be 10-0 or anything like that, because I think 8-2 is a very respectable scoreline after 10 games. But the reason why I'm referencing that is because actually the team that I'm using and the way that I'm playing is fantastic. Like, as I said earlier on in the video, Ronaldo and Henry up front together at striker, deadly. Rui Costa, Kimmich, Vieira, Matuidi. This midfield has felt the most complete for me since the start of FIFA 18. Even when I had Hullet, even when I had Pogba, even when I had Vidal, beforehand, my trio of, the quartet of Costa at Cam, Matuidi at CDM, Pogba and Vidal on the outside midfielders, that 4 there didn't feel as strong as the 4 that I've got now. This Kimmich and Matuidi on the outsides are great. The only thing I have to care for is Matuidi's 2-star weak foot and 2-star skill moves, but Kimmich is 4-star, 3-star, Goretzka is 4-star, 3-star, Vieira is 4-star, 3-star, maybe he's 3-star, 3-star for Vieira actually. Costa, of course, is 4-star, 4-star. Henry is 4-star, 4-star. And Ronaldo is 4-star, 5-star. So 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves. So, across the board, other than Matuidi, every single person is a minimum, every single person is 4-star weak foot. I can't remember specifically for Vieira. He might be 3-star weak foot, but I think he's 4-star. But the team is just so competent. And then in terms of the fullbacks as well, let me actually just have a look at Vieira. Whoa. So 86 Vieira is, so he's 3-star, 3-star for Vieira. Of course, Goretzka has 4-star weak foot, which is great. And then Alexandro has got a 3-star weak foot as well. So, we've got 2 3-stars in the team, 1 2-star, but the rest 4-stars with the skill moves. But the most important thing, I think, is the stamina levels of all my players is super high. 93 on Alexandro, 93 on Kimmich, 95 on Matuidi, Patrick Vieira's in the high 80s, Goretzka, I believe, is in the 90s. I think he has 90 stamina, doesn't he, Goretzka? 90 stamina for Goretzka. So one of the issues I had with the previous team where I had Ruud Gullit in the team is that I was constantly subbing off Ruud Gullit during games because he didn't have the stamina levels, and it was costing me from time to time. I didn't want to think it was because I love that Gullit card. It's just he's not good enough. And because he was also always so tired, it meant that I was always switching to Vieira to try and recover possession losses, which meant I was actually burning Vieira's stamina a lot quicker than I am now, because now I've got Kimmich and Matuidi up and down the field all day long, no problem at all. They both have high work rates, it's great. And Vieira just sits in that hole and mops up anything else, and that's great. Whereas before, because Gullit had, I think actually Kimmich is high-medium, apologies, but before I had, Gullit there, and if I lost the ball with him in or around the box, he just didn't have the stamina to track back, so I had to take hold of Vieira and sprint him into positions that he shouldn't be sprinting into. So I think this midfield and this attack that I've got is the most complete I've ever had. I love Benatia. Benatia-Boateng duo is great. Goretzka-Sandro is great. I think my next upgrade is probably going to be Manuel Neuer now. Going back to Neuer in goal would be a great addition. And then after that, I'm going to start saving for Team of the Year Ronaldo, or Team of the Group Stage Ronaldo, or Team of the Group Stage Kimmich. Or if anyone else fits the bill that fits into this team seamlessly, if I don't have to change anything really to get someone else in the team. So Joshua Kimmich, I think you guys are telling me he's going to get a Team of the Group Stage. Ronaldo is definitely going to get a Team of the Group Stage. So those 2 upgrades will be nice for my team. I'm very, very excited for that. The next comment we got is from Get Banged, and he says, "Hey Net, what do you think of the World Cup mode will be this year? Do you want it to be a direct game mode from Ultimate Team or separate entity like in FIFA 15? Love your vids and keep up the good work." Well, the only thing I'll say straight off the bat is the fact that the Path to Glory cards are already to do with the World Cup. So that kind of indicates that it's not going to be a separate game. But in the database, there are some World Cup cards. So there might be a separate game mode for it. Either way, I don't really mind. I'm excited to have FIFA lasting longer this year. You know, always during the Euros and during the World Cup, FIFA, the transition between one FIFA to the next is a lot easier because we got a lot of content late on. So like last year, for example, by July for a lot of people, even middle of June for a lot of people, the game was dead for them. They stopped playing through June, July, August, and come back at the end of September. Most people probably stopped at the end of July after Team of the Season, and then didn't play through August and came back in September when the game came. So that 6 to 8 week period is just a really dead period in FIFA. This year though, because the World Cup's going to be running through that, FIFA's going to be live and kicking. So I also think, you know, when people say to me, you know, if you think you're going to get Henry, like, because I think like Prime Icons will be mad cheaper during Team of the Season, right? Because the player prices are really, really low for really, really high rated players. Like last year, you could get like 92 and 93 rated cards for like 30 or 40,000 coins. So it's going to allow completing those high rated teams for people like Henry and Hullet and Pele and stuff. It's going to make it much easier. And when I tweet and talk about that, people just jump on the old, oh yeah, but FIFA's dead by then. Nobody gives a damn. I will give a damn because FIFA won't be dead by then this year. And for me, FIFA isn't dead during Team of the Season. That's when FIFA comes to life, because that's when the best cards come out in the game and that you just get to try a whole bunch of new teams and players that you never would have tried before. So I'm crazy excited for Team of the Season and whatever EA do with the World Cup game mode. I hope, actually, after thinking about it like this, I hope they keep the World Cup game mode in regular Ultimate Team. Whatever they do, maybe just a big tournament, some daily and weekly stuff that comes out with it. I hope it stays in Ultimate Team so that I actually get to use the players that I've spent the whole year building up for. I actually get to use it in the World Cup mode. But if that's not the case and it is like a standalone game like it was 4 years ago, that would also be great too, because that World Cup game mode was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm just excited either way. The Man 2K14 says the good players should get an 88 plus rated guaranteed player. The shit players can just have a free for all for the shit players. That's literally what you're saying, laughing my ass off. Packs are all luck. Why should be guaranteed one of the best players? And Mahmood A answered this better than I ever could have done, so I'm just going to read his reply. He says, try to think about it from his perspective. He got Elite 1, which requires at least 28 wins every week for the 4 or 5 week period. In his 20 red inform pack, he got 15, 81 and 82 trash informs. Out of the 5 high rated informs, only 1 was usable. And I wouldn't even say they were high rated. I literally got 15, I got, what I get, 781s, or 681s, 982s, 183, 184, 185 and 186. And that's it. I didn't get, like, I got garbage. I actually think I got 16 81 and 82s and then an 83, 84, 85 and 6. So I got 16 81 and 82 trash informs, 1 garbage, well, 1 okay 83 in Kolasinac, an 84 and 85 Grankfist and an 86 Benatia. He says, but he carries on. He says, so he got 16, 81, 82 trash informs, and out of 4 rated inform, high rated informs, he only got 1 usable one. Meanwhile, someone on Twitter only finished gold 3, which is significantly easier, and got Hazard, Lukaku, and Mbappe in his 3 inform pack, which is 10,000 times better than his reward. And he put in way less effort and didn't do as well results-wise. His point is to guarantee players who finish in the elite region 1 good inform, like the top 100 are guaranteed an icon, because it requires so much effort and skill to get to that point. I get packs are all luck, but in my opinion, good players should be guaranteed 1 good card from their pack that they put so much effort to get. And that's exactly my point. You know, like, I don't, you know, let people that get gold 3, gold 2, gold 1 have the pool of all the players. And so, yeah, so if somebody does go and get 3 red inform pack, like Spin Bros finished gold 3, they got Lukaku. I finished Elite 1, and by a margin. You know, I didn't just finish Elite 1. I finished Elite 1 by like 10 extra wins or so. You know, I'm better than Elite 1. I'm just not as good as top 100s. And I got Benatia. And the Spin Bros finished gold 3, got 3 cards, and got Lukaku. So it's just my way of kind of like you know, like I say, like top 100, because they're top 100, they get a guaranteed icon. Like an icon, guaranteed. You guaranteed to get an icon. Me, I don't get guaranteed anything. I literally got 16 discardable players, and then I got Fernandinho, Kolasinac, Grankvist, and Benatia. Those are my 4 named players. Those were my biggest 4. Grankvist is a throwaway card. No one will ever use him. Benatia I am using, and I put him in my team just because I got him. I don't need him in my team. I can quite easily go for Valencia, Bailly, and you know, put in like De Gea in goal and Vieira on the right centre mid or something. You know, I don't actually need that guy. But bottom line is, yeah, I just think rewarding those guys that put in all that time and effort by just one guaranteed good player. You know, let's say the highest rated is a 91 or a 92, guarantee them an 88. If the highest rated is a 95, guarantee them a 92. You know, just give them one thing, like one good thing. And I know the argument today is, oh, you know, but like monthlies are just a bonus reward on top of everything. But I also think the same in weeklies. I think it's stupid the fact that somebody who finishes on 29 wins and gets that one team of the week pack can get 3 of the best informs, and then somebody who finishes first and gets 11 team of the weeks can get 11 trash bag informs. I think it's remarkable. I think EA have got good in the way that they are, in the way that they're kind of giving people rewards for playing the game. I just think there's a little ironing out to do to make it the people that are good and put in a lot of time and effort are rewarded for that. Anyway, guys, we're in the last game of the session here. This will be my 17th game. I'm currently 14-2, and both losses were winnable games, 100%. And that's why I'm saying to you guys, like, you know, the way this team is playing for me right now is just spectacular. I'm really enjoying it. And even in this game, this was a tough game, but Ronaldo there gets the shot off. The goalkeeper saves that one to stop it from being 2-2, but eventually did score from that direct corner there. So Ronaldo gets the ball, has the shot, it falls to Patrick Vieira, he slots that one home, and it was nothing less than I deserved. I thought this was going to be an incredibly tough game because this guy had a really strong team. He had 4 red cards, I think he had an icon or 2 in there as well. And then later on in the game, 75th minute coming up, we get the ball through to Cristiano Ronaldo. It eventually finds its way into Ronaldo's feet, he shields off Sané, gets around the right-hand side with Alaba in behind him, cuts back to the byline, crosses it in, and there is Blaise Matuidi with the header to win the game 3-2. So I find myself 15-2, guys, after my first 17 games. And as I explained in a previous video, I'm just going for 8 wins a day. So I've got one more game to win today, and then that's me done, and we'll go for 8, maybe 9 on Sunday to get to Gold 1. If I'm at 25-7 or less, maybe I'll push on to Elite 3, but I probably won't, I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying the relaxation of not having to force myself to play games. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.